Weeks of intense wage negotiations, unions will today report back on whether they will accept or reject Eskom's wage offer. On Friday, unions resumed wage negotiations after a deadlock resulted in strike action. The power utility has offered workers a 7% wage increase, this while the country endures another day of rolling blackouts. Reporter Heidi Jokos joins us from Cedarwood Park in Woodmead. Good morning yet again, Heidi. A lot is hinging on these negotiations being concluded as quickly as possible. But from just your interactions with the workers on the ground, does it seem like they're likely to accept that 7% and put all of this behind them?
Well, Fundo, we're going to have to ask unions as to whether or not they are going to be willing to accept the 7% that's been offered by Eskom. But today is basically D-Day. I think the whole country is waiting in anticipation to find out whether or not unions, NUMSA as well as Solidarity, will be accepting the 7% wage offer that has been put on the table by Eskom. We do know that Eskom has indicated, due to this strike that's currently underway, they've had to implement stage 6 load shedding. We haven't had stage 6 load shedding in years, and of course South Africans being extremely frustrated. But workers of course have their demands, and they feel as though they should demand a certain wage increase. But we are joined by Levwani Mamburu, who is the NUMS spokesperson. Thank you so much for your time. It's D-Day. There's a lot of pressure on you guys to make a decision, and I'm wondering perhaps if you could just take us through the plans for today. What is expected? And is it going to be a day where a decision is actually made?
No, definitely it's a day where a decision has to be made. As I speak to you right now, we are having a joint shop steward council with NUMSA, where the shop stewards from all over the country are reporting the mandate from the members. And then thereafter, around 2 o'clock, the Central Bargaining Forum will sit, where all the three unions are expected to report the mandate from the members.
They will be reporting the mandate from the members to Eskom.
Definitely, they will be reporting the mandate from the members to Eskom in the Central Bargaining Forum, where the CCMA will be facilitating those talks.
Okay, let's just quickly speak about the fact that unions have been asking for a 10% wage increase. 7% has been put on the table for Eskom by Eskom without giving away too much, because I do know that, of course, members have to be consulted, and you have to discuss this with Eskom first. Is it reasonable for your members? Do you feel as though the 7% is reasonable, given the fact that you had asked for 10%?
I don't want, Heidi, I don't want to preempt, but I can tell the public out there we are positive that something good will happen today.
Okay. Just lastly, I want to speak about your engagement and interaction with Eskom. Many said that these negotiations were quite volatile and quite tense. We do know that workers were adamant that they wanted what they wanted, and they have been subjected to very difficult working conditions and basically no salary increase. I remember years ago covering the story where there was 0% on the table. Do you feel as though negotiations and discussions with the power utility have become fruitful and have become a lot more positive than previously?
No, they have not been fruitful at all. As I speak to you right now, the public does not know that the 2021 wage negotiations still remain unresolved. We are on 2022 wage negotiations, but the 2021 wage negotiations are at the arbitration. They have not been resolved at all, and that shows you that the relationship between the Eskom and its employees has not been good at all. So we're very worried about it.
Well, hopefully you can sit around a table and discuss this. Thank you so much for your time, and I was hoping to get a little bit more out of you, but we'll just have to wait for 2 o'clock. Thank you so much. That was Levwani Mamburu, who is the spokesperson for NUM. And Mfundo, I tried, but I think the positive that we got out of it was that Mr. Mamburu indicating that it seems positive, so we'll just have to wait and see. As he indicated, we do know that shop stewards will be discussing, and then at around 2 o'clock they will be going back to Eskom to indicate whether or not they accept the deal. We do know that the request was for 10% salary increase, but Eskom is putting 7% on the table. As I mentioned, very big day because we do know that Eskom has indicated that because of the strike, they've had to implement stage 6 load shedding. What's even more worrying, and I think we must highlight the fact that Eskom CEO Andre Durate is saying that even if there is an agreement that's met between unions and Eskom, it's going to still impact the maintenance rollout plan that they have in terms of maintaining some of their power stations, and they're worried that load shedding will possibly continue. Let's hope it's not going to be stage 6 or even stage 8.
Let's hope that at the very least their return to work will see us getting maybe stage 2 ever so often. Thank you very much for that report. That's reporter Heidi Jokos in Woodmead.